beautiful people, welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's another exciting educative video today, and here with me I have a guest, as you can see on the screen. So you'll be sharing his own journey here. Like, he came to the US, I think it's 2024, right? Yeah. So he'll be sharing his journey so far, how he got his admission, or like his application processes and stuff like that. So let me just give it to my guest. And please, if you're here to follow or subscribe, please do so right now. What you're getting here is real life stories and real information. There is no cutting, there is no, like stuff like that. No mago mago. So I'll be asking my guest a few questions, but before then, I would like him to introduce himself. So over to you, my guest. So can you introduce yourself to our beautiful people?
Yeah, thank you, Dami. My name is Bennett. Bennett Dompre is my name. I'm from Ghana, and I'm a current student at Miami University, pursuing Miami University in Ohio, not in Florida, So I'm currently pursuing a Master of Science in Student Affairs and Higher Education. This is my second year. I'm also a graduate assistant for the EHSS Center. So EHSS, College of Education, Health and Society. Just yeah, I'm a graduate assistant for that. But currently, as we speak right now, I'm in California Polytechnic State University, serving as a summer orientation coordinator for their, summer school. So that's a bit about me. Yeah.
That's a lot of stuff going on with you, having full-time school, going for summer internship, having your GA work to do, that's a lot. And we are proud of you that you're doing that strongly.
So thank you.
So, if you do not mind, could you please tell us how you started this journey? Like, when you thought about you want to study abroad, like, how did you feel that, okay, I think now is the right time for me to start submitting my application? And how long did you take you to prepare for that? There is difference between you thinking about it, conceiving the thoughts, and there's there's another difference in you collating all the things that you need. Then the next step would be you applying. So how did you go through those stages?
Yeah, thank you very much. So I started this journey around 2020. Yeah. So 2020, I decided to embark on studying abroad. But I was also very specific that if I don't study in the US, I will not study anywhere in the world. So
damn, okay.
I wasn't like, I just want to move abroad. So I'm thinking about schools in Germany, thinking about schools in the UK, thinking about schools in Sweden. I never did that. I was very specific about the country I want to study in, which is the US.
US or not?
Yes, the US or that thing. So I was not looking anywhere, not even Canada. I wasn't looking anywhere. And the reason too is that I also want to work within a university space. As a student affairs practitioner or something, and I realized that the US is, a country with those programs. I don't know, I don't want to get it wrong, but we hardly see student affairs and higher education in other parts of the world, like Europe and all those things. But in the US, it's all over the place. So
it's much
yeah. So that is part of the reasons why I decided to also choose the US. And in addition to that, US is a place where there is graduate assistantship. There is a lot of funding for international students. That is at least per my research. So people can dispute that, but
and that's true.
Yeah. So I decided to also look for a place where at least, even if I don't get scholarship, I can get some graduate assistantship that will take off my tuition and all that. So these are some of the things that I was considering. So in 2020, I decided to embark on the journey. Then COVID came in, where no one was traveling and all that. And the following year, 2021 too, I decided to just take a break because still COVID was around and, nothing really going on and all that. So I was just looking. That was a time that I decided to also scout the schools that I would love to attend. And I was just, So I... just to share with people, there is something called a Master's Portal. I don't know whether people have heard of it. Master's Portal, where you can just enter the school. Like, you choose a country, you choose the program you want to do, and then it will run a search for you. So I utilize that a lot so it gave me all the schools in the US that have student affairs and higher education programs. And I decided to just look for the location too, because I don't want to get into trouble because this is a public space, but I can say that there are places in the US I would not love to study there or
We all
something like
have
that.
preferences, so that's your own preference.
Yeah. Yeah, and there are some states I decided not to go, even if you give me full funding, whatever, I will not go there. So I was, after getting all the schools, I decided to choose the places I would love to study, the play and all those things. And after that, I made a few applications and all that. That was in 2022. I decided to make a few applications that will be for the following year. So if you apply in 2022, you meaning that you'll be coming the next year.
Yeah, for
so yeah, I have another story for that, which I gained admission to two different schools, and one of the schools was Colorado State University, which I gained admission to student affairs and higher education. And I decided to choose that particular school because I love it, and I also connected with some Nigerians and some Ghanaians over there that, hey, I've gained admission, full funding, whatever, so I'm coming over there and all that. And then the shock came in. All of a sudden, the department wrote back to me that, hey, we have an issue with funding and all that, so we are taking the funding back. And this particular year, even the school is moving online strictly because of funding and all that. So I am not the only one affected, but even domestic students too are also affected. So usually I'm able to like pay and then get online and all. So it was a bit frustration. And it came in very late at the point where I didn't accept other offers from other universities.
Oh
no! So I thought, I have Colorado State University, and I decided not to offer. I just dropped the rest, and that particular thing happened. So this is also advice to everyone watching that don't just say, I have if you have an admission don't put all your eggs in one basket.
Exactly.
And if you also have like multiple admissions, that is not the right practice, but don't reject any of them. To me, I would say accept all.
But then you can't have multiple I-20s now. You have to have just one I-20. So
yeah, accept all, and then later on maybe the one that's, because these people can change their mind. And the thing is that when they change your mind, you have nothing to do. You cannot argue. You cannot appeal. You cannot do anything. So once you lose it, so yeah. So I just said, okay, cool. I mean, it didn't work for me 2023, so I decided to apply for the next school year. And this time around, I decided to reject Colorado State University.
Like, you guys, you are on my bad list.
I decided to reject them and then choose other schools. So I chose so many schools, like there were a lot of schools that I applied to, like Miami University, Ohio State University. What was one of the schools? Yeah, like a lot of our famous.
Okay.
But I applied to about 5 schools. I think I also applied to Southern Illinois University. And I applied to another school too. I think North Carolina State University too. They have a program in higher education. And I applied to those schools, and I was very fortunate to get admission to 3 of them. So
this is a scholar.
I was very fortunate to get admission to 3 of them, and this time around, I accepted all.
Okay, you were like, no, once bitten, twice shy. Like, I'm not falling again.
Yeah, I accepted all, but I was so much in love with Miami University, and the reason for Miami University is because of our program coordinator. I mean, you will know her, Dr. Ibis.
Yeah, Dr. Ibis.
Because
she's so sweet.
Yeah, I decided to do this is how I look for my schools. I don't just apply to schools, but I also make sure that I go to the website, check out all the the faculty members, read about every one of them, and every school that I've applied to, at least I wrote to about 90% of the faculty members before applying. So before I came to Miami University, not even I think the main faculty members in Miami University's
Mm-hmm.
Dr. Campbell, Dr.
Dr. Avis.
Elisa Avis, and
Mm-hmm.
I think Dr. Jane Brownell. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And before coming to Miami University, I wrote to, like, I emailed all of them
The
just
three
to
of them.
exactly, just to.
Okay.
And here's the trick. I mean, this is a
Like
safe
I'm
space. I can
securing my
talk about.
seat, you guys. You three
Here's
of
the
you have to
trick.
like come together to give this
So
admission.
these people, the faculty members, make decisions about,
Exactly.
like, I mean, on who to come into the program and who they should reject, or and all those things. So
Definitely.
at times, you showing like how excited you are about the program, trying to ask questions, trying to, we come from a space where asking too much questions is like you are disrespectful, or maybe you like talking too much and all those things. But it is directly opposite in the US.
Yes, it is opposite.
When, yeah, asking questions about stuff, just trying to know more, it's like it shows how excited you are, and that's they just want people who are very eager to get into it and all those things. So I decided to reach out to the people who make decisions and just trying to let them know I'm interested. So if maybe they meet wherever they meet, I don't know how they do it, but if they meet on a round table making decisions, they know that, oh, okay, I know this guy, he emailed me, I know this guy, so they all know me. So kind of give me upper hand or something like that. And
Well then,
that was
okay, let's go on.
yeah. So that was what I did.
Okay.
Just writing all of them, just trying to ask questions about the program, how they run and all those things. And I also read most of their papers. So, for instance, Dr. Avis, Dr. Campbell, and I'm talking about Miami University professors right now. I read most of their papers and all those things, and even check out the Instagram page of Miami University Sahib program, and what was going on and all those things. So the Sahib program, before the student affairs higher education program that I'm reading right now, before you get into it, you have to go through an interview process. And
We'll
during
get
my
to that.
interview, okay.
Okay, so I don't want to just be talking.
All right, then let me just hold on to that.
Yeah, so thank you for, that was a very long answer. I just didn't want to like cut you short.
Well, I talk a lot, so forgive me.
No, you're not just like alone in it. I also like talk a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. So just to like backtrack what you just said. So
Okay.
you said like you started this process in 2020, which is about like 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Like starting like to prep, and you got admission in 2023, but you couldn't like go to the school. And what helped you in finding your school is the master's portal, right?
Yeah.
So which I also like think that it is a very, very good website to use to like search for schools and search for the particular program you have decided to study. And according to you or like already like knew the program you were going for, like, okay, I think I want to be in this space, and this is what I am focusing on. Like, it's not as if you were or like playing games by or like applying to different programs at different schools. You were focused. And you're kind of like or like probably would I say streamline your or like applications to some certain states or like in the US, because like your preference, right? You don't want to like
my preference.
send your or like applications to like different states that you wouldn't want to like live in due to your own personal reasons, right? Due to your own personal reasons, and which is respected a lot, right? So so this summary will just like give the like audiences to like on what you've said, or like in case we've like lost them or like along the way.
Yeah.
So moving on to my next question. So what surprised you most about the US university or like application? Like, was this something you were kind of like expecting or not, like, or where you were trying to like submit your own or like application? What surprised you the most in the process?
What surprises me the most is I don't know if there is any surprise. Like, I mean, I would say there are a bit of differences, like applying to schools in the US, where it is more of what you are bringing on board, but not what you already have. And I think I should elaborate that. So, for instance, in Ghana, maybe in Africa or something like that, they mostly depend on like your GPA or what you have, like, um, you are like a top class student, first class student, or something like that. But in the US, it doesn't work like that. It's all about who you are, what you are bringing on board, your experiences, and your fit, whether you fit into their program. So um, there are times where someone can have a master's, like brilliant score, like whatever, and you might even have just a bachelor's, and your bachelor's can even get you into a PhD in the US.
Yes.
And then someone with a master's top class will be rejected because they were unable to prove, So coming from that, yeah. So that is one of the things that really I would say is a different thing applying to schools in the US. It's just about you proving that I can do this, and you showing, not just telling them that, hey, I want to do it, but you just show it with evidence, like through what you write, your letters of recommendation and all those things. I'm talking, what you write is by statement of purpose,
yeah.
and maybe if there is an interview too, you prove that you know what you're about. And sometimes too, you just have to get a bit of experience about the whole thing that you want to do. Like, why do you want to get into it? So I see America as a place where it doesn't matter your background, but can you do it? That's yeah. So so wherever you go, it's not about oh, I have a background in this. So if I don't have a background in banking, but if I should apply for a banking job, can I do it? And if I'm able to prove that I can do it, they will put me there. That's how America works. So that is a bit of the difference in application that I saw compared to maybe other parts of the world or something like that. Yeah.
And I agree to that because like where I come from in Nigeria, we kind of like prioritize GPA, like, oh, this person like is a first class, so like this person should do this. But something that's I think like surprised me most, like when I was like applying, would be that I had to like submit SOP because before coming here, I applied to a master's degree in Nigeria and I got accepted.
Okay.
But then I didn't have to write SOP.
Yeah.
Coming here, I had to like tell my story. They even had prompts. Different schools with their own different rubrics, right? So I had to like ensure that I am like more or like efficient in what I'm writing.
Yeah.
And also showing my real self in my writing. So that was kind of like so like different. Like, do I really want to do this writing? But then US is it's all about writing, writing, speaking, stuff like that. So I was more surprised for that.
Wow.
So let's go to the next question. From what you've said, you said like that you applied to different schools, right?
Yeah.
So what were the factors that you were considering before applying to some of the schools?
So the main thing is I decided, like I said, not to pay for fees. So the first thing I will consider is funding. I love Miami University. I connected with some of the professors before coming here. But if I didn't get funding from Miami University, I will not choose Miami University, irrespective of how I love it. Because, I don't want people to think that, oh, when I move to the US, like I'll be fine and I can pay the fees and all those things. Sometimes our parents are hardworking, they can pay and all those things. But trust me, when you change your currency into the dollar, like it devalues and comes down, and I will not recommend you not having funding but paying out of pocket. I don't know, but that is my own suggestion. So funding was the first thing to me. Will I get funding in this particular place? If I don't get funding, I look for a different place where, even if I had admission and I don't get like funding, I will not come to the US. I will not, even if I get I-20, even if I get a visa, I'll still not come. Because I don't want to pay. It is terrible.
Like it is a lot, like paying that large amount of money for tuition.
Yeah.
It is a lot. Like
So
funding, it is a lot.
Yeah.
So was that your only reason, or like how about?
No,
okay.
that is part. It's not the only reason, but that's the first reason. The first reason I was looking at is the funding for it, and the second reason too was the people that I will learn with and the people that I'm going to be with. So I always look for a place where at least there is a bit of diversity in there. Where what I mean by diversity is like, have they had international students before? Um, how does the
Finding your
program
own
work?
community, kind of.
Yes, exactly. Have they had international students before? And even the faculty members, to how diverse it is. Like, the reason is that I just want a place where my experiences will be understood, because it's not about just being in the US and you are studying. There are times where the people that you learn with don't understand you, you don't understand them, and the system yet is different,
Exactly.
And the faculty members too, sometimes they want to help you, but they don't even understand
They don't know
your
how
background
to.
and anything and all those things. So I look out for a place where there is a bit of diversity in, like, the faculty members, and also the people. Like, have they had international students in the past, and all those kind of things. At least with international students from the past, it means that they've worked with Africans and all those things. So, and all that. And in addition to that, I also look out for cost of living. I decided to stay out of, like, I mean, big cities, cool, but I also look out for a place where even if you get funding, you still pay rent, unless maybe you're in Rest Life, that they will give you free apartment and all those things. But my GA, and I didn't want to do Rest Life even before moving to the US, because I don't like staying in there.
You don't like free housing? You don't like free housing?
I read
Free
about
meal?
it.
No.
I read about Rest Life and all those things, and how you're supposed to be in the same building with the students, and sometimes crisis management, and you can be caught at. I know it's a whole lot of stress, and I just want to have my own life, and and explore the explore.
I feel bad right now because I'm in Rest Life. I say that I did not have my own life.
I know, right? But I decided not to be a Rest Life, so I was looking for a place where I can rent, I can pay my rent out of stipend and all those things. So cost of living is also one thing that I was also considering. I was also considering a place where this might be the last reason where the faculty members are very popular. So what I mean by very popular is, like, I just do a Google search of their name, their papers, and whether they've been in the field of higher education, like how popular are they, how influential are they. Currently, Miami University, what I mean by very popular, for instance, our program coordinator, like this, I saw her on the platform on Student Affairs Now. There's a podcast called Student Affairs Now.
Yeah.
That is very popular, yes. And I've seen her on that platform several times. There are so many papers, research when it comes to student development. Like, she's a big name, in that particular field and all those things. So
that's a field.
Yeah. And those are the things I was looking out for, people who can impact me positively. And the thing too was that, I also want to depend on them to rise. At least they can give me connections in the field, because they are very popular. They are so connected. They know almost everyone. So if I need an opportunity, at least this is my program coordinator, this is my faculty member. So I was considering all those things. So those are some of the things that I considered, and I decided to choose Miami University because they check all those boxes for me.
Yeah, and those are all like good points. Like, those are all good points, to be honest, because checking your faculty, if like they are top people in your field, like, really matters, because if they potentially write you a recommendation letter, if people like Google them, they won't be like, who is this person, like like I can remember during my like interview, like on one of my like interview, my interviewer mentioned my professors during the program. Did this person teach you? I'm like, yes. How do you know them? Like, oh, from a conference. I'm like, okay. So I'm like, do we like the person? I'm like, yeah, we do. I love them. It's like those kind of things. Like, just like creating this relationship with people that you do not know through their names, right? So which really like matters a lot, and speak to your own like quality of education too, right? So, yeah, good. So
adding to that, I just want to add to that. I was at the ACPA conference last year, and I met top people top people who said, "Oh, I know your program coordinator. He was my thesis advisor. He was my this. He was my this." And these people are like, deans. They are like
Definitely.
top faculty members. They are even now program coordinators of different institutions and all those things. So yeah, it matters a lot. The people that you work
really
with.
matters. Yeah. So moving on. So while you are kind of like applying to schools, for me, I was also like considering if the school or like accept unofficial transcripts or like gives application waiver, like stuffs like that, or like looking for schools that not require standardized tests. So like did you or like also like have those factors before applying to some certain schools?
Yeah. I have a funny, like, ionical reason. So I didn't apply to schools that were giving waivers and schools that give free applications because I think those schools will be choked. I think those schools will be choked and everyone will be applied. Everyone will be applied. So I see application waivers as schools that accept application fees as a way of trying to season the people who applied, all those things. So to increase my chances, I decided to apply to schools where I'll pay.
That was
and,
like funny enough.
And it worked.
Funny
it
enough
worked,
too.
trust me.
Wait. Funny enough too. I never or like applied to schools that waived or like application fee at all. Like my mind didn't like go to that side. Like, oh, like there are some schools that do this. It was later, and I'm like, oh, so school waives this, but then like I already like paid for my already. I'm like, okay, it's fine.
Yeah. So almost every school that I applied to, I paid for it. Miami University doesn't waive application fee. North Carolina State doesn't waive application fee. Ohio State University doesn't waive application fee. They don't. So I paid for almost all the schools that I applied to. And one thing that was, all these schools accept unofficial application, so unofficial transcript. So unofficial transcript is like a transcript that you have on your own. Like, I mean, you got it at the degree, you can just scan it, or you have it on your phone, your laptop, or whatever. You can just send it to them. That is what we call the unofficial transcript. So, but the official one will be sent after you gain admission.
Yeah, definitely.
So that is we have official and unofficial transcripts. So yeah.
Okay. So, did you also like or like apply to schools that were requesting for standardized tests, or schools that were requesting for English proficiency tests as well? Because for or like international students, those are something that we are always like scared of. Like, oh, I don't want to test this test. I don't want to do this at all.
I decided to pay for application fees, but I decided not to apply to schools that are accepting waiver as I wasn't like SAT, GRE.
GRE,
well, we have. I'm talking about the transcript evaluation.
The transcript evaluation.
West evaluation and all those things. I decided to avoid that. There are schools that will ask you to evaluate your transcript today, at least, because wherever you're watching us from, your country's education system is different from the U.S. educational system. So they just you have to evaluate your transcript so that at least it will match the U.S. And the reason is they just want to be fair in the admission process, so that at least they will not cheat anyone. At least your transcript has been evaluated to the U.S. system, so when they are selecting, they can be fair. But to me, that is waste of money. And so I decided to apply and pay for application fees to schools that do not accept. Miami University, fortunately, doesn't require that, and I think all the schools that I applied to didn't require OS evaluation. So that's one good thing about that. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's good to know, because I know that like most international students are like, I don't have money, I want to save my money. So then that's why I want to like go outside of the country, because I have to save up for my flight, for my visa fee and stuff like that. So it will be considerate of them to waive the application fee and also like look for what to save me money. So we actually like some of the international students like look for schools that require them to be on budgets, such as not accepting transcript or like evaluation, waiving or English proficiency test for their own country, because it's not all countries that schools waive or like English proficiency test for. So, and that's why it's very like important for you that you are applying to check their website, go to their website and search for English proficiency test, something like that. So like just search for it and it will bring out your page if your country is or like among the listed countries there, just know that you don't need to like write the test or something. But if your country is not there, unfortunately, we're sorry to tell you that you have to write it. You have to write it. So moving on to the next question. So how did you like track the different requirements that each school require you to submit, like to have? Like schools have their own different
Yeah.
requirements. So
Yeah.
what tracker did you use?
So yeah. So I have a spreadsheet of all the schools that I apply to.
Okay, that's smart.
That yeah. So all the schools that I apply to with the requirements, but I would say that the requirement was almost the same. A personal statement or statement of purpose, your CV or resume, and then letters of recommendation. There are a few schools like Miami University like this, the resume is supposed to be 2 pages, so they were very specific about that. And those are some of the things that you should also pay attention to. Like there are some schools that will ask you to do specific things. Make sure that you follow those things. Don't say, oh, I have a lot of experiences and my resume, I don't think I need the only 2 pages. I need about 5 pages. No. They say 2 pages, just stick to that. So first of all, you respecting the rules and regulations, or maybe the requirements is at least 50% of the work done. So make sure that you do that. So those are some of the things. And Miami University too require, aside the transcript, they also require the certificate, like your bachelor certificate. So that is it. But other schools like I think North Carolina, they didn't request for that. And they also requested for only 2 letters of recommendation, but Miami requested for 3 letters of recommendation. So they are the same. The requirements are the same, but just that some will request for maybe 2 of two recommendations, others request for 3 and all those things. But yeah, the requirements were kind of the same. But I just have a spreadsheet of all of that and all the things that I do. So if I submit a statement of purpose, then I'll just tick that I submitted it. Like if I submit a resume, I'll just tick and all those things. If I get a response, I'll just so I was tracking everything. That was how I did everything. Yeah.
Yeah, and that was really smart. Having a spreadsheet to keep track of those all like applications and the requirements. Like even if the requirements are similar, but then they still have like some differences. Like schools requesting for one or like recommendation letter, why some requesting for 2 or 3. So if you mistakenly send 3 to the one requesting for 1, like, this person is not paying attention to details, which already disqualify you like a bit or something. This person is not paying attention to it. So that's why I'm just like saying that they should have like tracker, just have tracker or like a spreadsheet to like keep those requirements in check before you submit your or like application. Ensure that you're going back to your spreadsheet to reconfirm what they actually like request of you to do before you submit. That's something to note. And thank you for saying that too. So moving on to my next question. So now we're moving to personal statements.
Sure.
Okay. So a lot of people have said, and I also like have the same opinion, that personal statement is consuming. Like it is the most consuming or like application or like documents in the application process, right? So how did you like write your statement of purpose? What did you like prioritize in writing about? Like did you like write about some things that you feel like this speaks to the school or merit, or like this is what the school is actually like looking for? Like what were the things that you like picked to like make sure that your statement of purpose stand out? Because I'm very sure that a lot of people applied to Miami and you were part of those that were chosen to like interview, because like I was part of the committees that took you in.
Right? I remember that.
I was part of the committees. So we knew the number of people that turned in the application, right? But then like you were just like part of the chosen one.
Yeah.
So can you tell us like how you made your statement of purpose stand out or like against those from your country applying to Miami?
Thank you very much for this particular. When it comes to statement of purpose, and I would say that I've always been someone who loves reflection, all right? And every approach, I love storytelling. I talk a lot, and the same way I talk, the same way I like how I talk, the same way I write. So,
right. Okay.
I love sharing personal stories, personal stuff, what I'm going through, and all those things. And I think I can brag about that. Every school that I applied to, I was 100% sure that I will be accepted. Sometimes if I don't get accepted, I am surprised.
Like, no, I have the skills. What are you
Yeah, if I don't
like,
get
what are you saying?
yeah, because I know that my statement of purpose, I talk about personal stories. So, for instance, while at the university, I chose a program that I didn't want to read because, first of all, I chose that university because I have a lot of friends from high school who attended that university, and I decided to just go there. I went there and I didn't know the program I want to read. I was just going through, on my laptop, and I was just going through the programs they have on their website. I'm talking about my undergrad.
Oh, okay.
The program they have on their website, and I said social science, the social science, they have minor in geography, political science, and all that. And I said, okay, I think economics would be nice. Let me just choose it and all that. And I chose it out of ignorance and all those things. So if you come to student affairs, helping students choose courses and, trying to connect them with a course that will match their future career path and how they can and all those things is the work of academic advisors. All right.
Yeah.
And that was a story that I shared, that I chose my undergrad out of ignorance. I got to campus and my destiny was in my own hands because I didn't get anyone to guide me, anyone as an academic advisor and all that. So just trying to share, which is like a personal story.
It is.
It is not. Yeah, I didn't create anything. I didn't use ChatGPT. I didn't use or whatever. I created all those things by myself, like just sitting down, reflecting on my own journey, and just writing that personal story. And anytime you write a personal story, it is, to you, it might sound normal, but if someone else is reading it, it might sound like, wow, like this is so different, although because it is your experience, and it sounds like different to them and all that. So I shared that personal story and how it has kind of influenced my decision to pursue higher education, so that I was be part of the solution to future students who might also make such mistakes by choosing courses that will, that they don't like, and it doesn't match their future career path, and they will be in a program where they are facing a lot of challenges, but already they are in their sophomore year, or maybe they are in the third year, and they cannot quit and all that. So that was a personal story that I shared, and so that was my story. And with a statement of purpose, to you should also connect, your story should connect with what the school also have, and if they can if they can provide something to help you shape your stories. I don't know if that makes sense.
It does make sense.
Yeah. So it's not about, oh, I have this, I want to do this, but can the school also help you to achieve what you're looking for? All right. So that is where you make the connection to what the school is already doing, and their faculty members, their the program and everything. Just try to connect the two and see that this is my experience and this is how it has influenced me, and this is what I want to achieve. But we move on to the part where, can the school help you to achieve that? All right. Exactly. So this is where you should read about the faculty members, some of the work they are doing, the program, what the program is all about, what they value, and all that. So I would say statement of purpose should not be generic. It shouldn't be like a general one. I have my story, but I make sure that I twist it or I tailor it to every school that I'm applying to.
Exactly.
So Miami University, like this, I can share that I connected my statement of purpose to some of the work that's we have a professor called Dr. Erica Campbell doing a lot for Black women, Black people, and all those things, promoting diversity and all that. The work of Elisa Abies in student development and all those things, and how students use their theories to make sense of their journey and all those things. Like, I connected, and I also made sure that some of the things that they've already done in the past to support students, I capitalize on that, I've seen even on their Instagram page that you are doing.
That was personal. Okay.
Yeah. You are doing this. I saw a video of my program coordinator trying to raise funds to support
Oh yeah,
students
the
go
bike
on a
one.
bike.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
bike one.
trying to raise funds to support. And I talk about that hey, I want to be in an environment where they will support my professional development. And Miami University is doing that because I saw this professor on a bike trying to raise funds to support students, go for conference and all those things. And this is the kind of environment that I want. This is the kind of space that I want to find myself in. And all so be real. Don't use fancy words trying to I don't know, just share a story and connect it to what you're already doing and how you want to be part of it and all that. And then aside the program too is part of a university, all right? So out of the program to the whole university that you're applying to, how do you fit in there, all right? So Miami University, I know they have at the time now they don't have a lot of diversity issues and all because of we are in a different system, but at the time they have a lot of programs to support students and then DEI office and all that. And I'm an international student, I'm a black student, I come from a different culture, different place. So when I moved in here, what are some of the institutions or offices on campus that will support my journey to also thrive? So I also talk about those things in my statement of purpose, some of the offices on campus that will support me to thrive. And I think this is why. So it's more or less like sharing your story and why you are interested in this in that particular program, and also talking about what they are doing and what they have in that school, which you think will help you to achieve what you are looking for. So that connection is what I made. I don't know if I've been able to talk about everything, but just trying to summarize it all.
Yes. Like you actually like did great, and like what you did like or like isn't too different from what I did to like during my own time. Because when I was writing my personal statement, I was always like sitting on Miami's website, trying to look for things. Like I tried to like know their mission and to see what courses they have. I made sure that I like mentioned maybe like few courses there. And what I also did was to like reference a particular professor and the works they're doing. I think that was on student retention, and I also like reference Dr. Abis, because like Dr. Campbell wasn't there at that time. So I think I referenced like the both of them, the retention side and student development, and I like connected it to what is currently like going on, like what was currently going on in Nigeria, about like retention, people not like having this kind of thing, like just trying to like to connect everything together. And I also mentioned teaching at Relena Center, which I did eventually when I did it, because like Dr. Davis was like, "You said you're going to teach Arena." I'm like, "Yeah, I'm still doing that." So, to show that they read this thing, so they read it and they know like what you said you want to do, right? So they know those things, and that's why it's very like that's why it's very like important for you to like go into the website, know what the school wants, know how you'll be fitting into the school system, and how the school too is also like a good fit for you. So if you are watching and you're trying to apply to schools in the US, take this advice dear to heart, because like this is what will help you get the admission that you've always been seeking for. I think I'm echoing.
No problem, that's fine. But I just want to, you made a very important point that also they read these things and they remember everything. I also had the same experience with Dr. Abis when I moved here. She told me everything in my statement of purpose that, oh, you said you have a background in this, so I'll tell me more about it. And we're having this conversation, and I even elaborated it more. And that is even part of the ways it deepens our connections. And so my advice is, do not lie in your personal statements, and do not use generative AI to generate stuff for you and all those things. Okay, on the other hand, if you also lie, make sure that you own the lie. That
you body the lie. Make sure like you're bodying the lie very well. Like, okay, this is my experience.
Yeah, because but I would advise you not to lie. Just be yourself, because everyone has a story, and your story will definitely set you apart.
Unique. Yeah, and I think there's also like this trend of people like using other people's statement of purpose. So, they think that since this school has given you this admission, if they also like adapt what you've written, the school would also like consider them. Please don't do that. It is a lie, because schools are familiar with that story already. You rewriting that
Mm-hmm.
story, it's like repetitive. Like, oh, this story seems
Yes.
familiar. So they don't see a need to have you in their program since they already like have someone like that already. So they need
Yeah.
like a fresh mind, someone like coming from another perspective, not from
Yeah.
that same perspective. So like your or like situations might be the same, but the way you tell your own story, it's different. Definitely like, oh,
Exactly.
two people cannot experience same situation in a different like, oh, like in the same way. You don't like have
Yes.
different POV to that situation.
Mm-hmm.
So please write your own story in a
Yes.
way that suits
Yes.
yourself and not the other
Yeah.
person. I just want
Yeah.
to say that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I think like it's been so nice speaking to you. So just like going on, so let's move on to like quickly to your recommendation letter. So when did you start
Mm-hmm.
reaching out to your professors or your supervisors for a recommendation letter? Because I know that it takes a lot of time to get recommendation letter in Nigeria. I don't know if it's same thing in Ghana.
So, I was working as a high school teacher in Ghana at the time I was applying for this. So my recommendation, most of the schools requested, I think the maximum was 3, others requested for just 2.
Mm-hmm.
So others, and in addition, I should also add that some schools will be very specific that at least we want a recommendation from a faculty member,
Mm-hmm.
and they can say professional and academic. So
Yeah.
that means that if you have like a work experience, you can use your supervisor to
Mm-hmm.
give you a recommendation, and also a faculty member. So I live and work I'm talking about Ghana, in
Mm-hmm.
about, let's say I have to travel about 3 hours to where I was working. If I should go back to my alma mater, my former university,
Mm-hmm.
I should travel about 3 hours to get there.
That's quite
And
far.
I had phone numbers of professors. I want them to give me recommendation,
Mm-hmm.
and I called them on phone, and some of them were even saying they don't even remember me. Like they don't even remember I was a student over there and all those things.
No, no, don't do me like this.
Yeah. And I have no other like option than to go to campus.
Mm-hmm.
So I traveled. I decided to take a leave from work one day, and I traveled to campus just to go and literally beg. I will not say that I have to go beg, talk to them, explain to them and all that. And one thing I will share some of the mistakes that I did. I spoke to just to because I was working in a high school, and my principal at the time gave me one recommendation. So I have 2 more faculty members to give me a recommendation. And I went to the university, traveled about 3 hours just to speak to only 2 faculty members that they should give me recommendation. And they agreed. And I sent a link to them, and they never did. They never gave me the recommendation.
Did you follow up with them or something?
I don't know. I just emailed them. Like, I mean, they gave me their numbers, but I will call. They will not even answer the phone. I will text. They will not even respond. And yeah, I mean, it is a different whole thing in Ghana. Like, for Ghana, professors are very difficult to reach and all that. I don't know, but I mean, it is their choice. Letters of recommendation are things that you cannot beg someone to do for you unless they are willing to do it for you. So if people say I will not do it, you cannot force them, and it's not part of their job. So I went all the way. Yeah. I went there and I spoke to just 2 people, and they said no, they will not. Like, I mean, they didn't say no, they said yes. They gave me their emails to give it to the university I'm applying to, and I did that, and still they didn't respond. And I think, well, it is getting close to deadline and all those things, so I have to go back again to to the university to look for different professors. And this time around, I was kind of lucky, and I also didn't do the same thing. I went to about 5 different offices, speak to and all that, and I was lucky that they did it, and that's it. So don't just speak to one professor saying that, oh, I want only one recommendation, so I'm talking to this particular professor. At least make sure that you talk to 3 or 4 people. If one person is delaying, you can go to the next professor and say that this is it and all that. And Yeah, and also what I also did was I didn't just say I want a recommendation. I also told them about a program I want to read, and I didn't share my personal statement with them, but I told them about what I want to do, my interest, and some of the area I want to go into, and all those things. So at least they know what I want to do and they know how to recommend me. So recommendations to don't just choose people to give you recommendation. It can be generic and it will say nothing and it will not add to anything.
It
So
won't speak to your
make sure
skills.
that make sure that you share what you want to do, your interest, your passion, and then when you share that, I'm sure that every professor can, out of what you said, write something that will, put you in a very good spot or something like that. So that's how I did. But in a nutshell, I didn't get it easy. I went through a lot to get recommendation letters.
So like it took you like how many months to do or like all that, like the first travel and the second travel, like how many?
So I am an early bird, and what I mean by an early bird is that if I want to apply, so by I think Miami has, I think, January 1st, or I've forgotten, like deadline or something
January
like that.
1st.
Yeah, and as far back as I think November 1st, I was done with my applications, everything, and all that. And I think this time around, I told you that previously, like 2022, I started the journey and all those things. So I have my statement of purpose. I keep just reading through, changing, and all those things. I have most of the things and all that. So application wasn't difficult. I just have to upload and all that. And the only thing left is like letters of recommendation and all that. And I make sure that I apply very early and just waiting for results. I don't wait till deadline or something, just trying to struggle and all those things. So Miami opened, I think, application around October, and I did. I think as November 1st, I was done, and around middle of November, getting to ending of November, I realized that these faculty members are not going to. I'm talking about my previous university. My professors are not writing the letters. I just trying to remind them. I send them a text, they don't respond. I call them, they don't speak. I email them, they don't respond. So I realized that they will not do so. I went to a different, that was when I went to, I think after a month, when I saw that there was no action, I decided to go, and I took their names out of the system, and I
and you edited and which is very smart, like that's why it's always like advisable to start your application very early, because you don't know like the circumstances that you might come across while you are applying to schools. Your recommendation, the people that are recommending you might be your stumbling block. So if you don't like plan ahead, there's no way you can cross that block, right? So that's why you have to like plan ahead, apply early, and do the needful. Also, something very important that I did with my recommenders was me sending them my statement of purpose. Though I did it with just one person, because that person was my course advisor, and she just wanted to see what I've written. She's like, let me see what you've written. I have to see. If I don't see it, I'm not like writing you anything. I'm like, you can't do that. She's like, yes, that's what I'm going to do to you. So I went there in person. Then we went through it together. She made some or edit. So like that gave her things to write like as well, because recommendation letter speaks about your soft skills, your art skills, your character traits. Like they have to see all those things in your recommendation letter, which all my recommendation did, because like they spoke to my own strengths, and spoke less of my weaknesses, and even like some of them that highlighted my weaknesses, they highlighted it as a way of strength kind of thing, like, oh, this is what me, like I said that she's lacking, but then this is how she can like improve with this your program if you give her the admission. So like just try to like speak to your recommendation, the people that writing why am I calling them recommendation? Please try to speak to your recommenders. Speak to them, build relationship with them early enough, and get your letters from them. And if they need some appreciation, please appreciate them, because it is not part of their job. As my guest has said, they are doing it out of their own will. So please appreciate them. If it's something that you can do. Just like keep the spirit going.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I have like I have like 10 schools to apply to. Like, it's very tiring filling that form. Like, it is a very long form. I saw one like. One of my recommenders called me like, Tammy, this form is too long. Do you think I can? I'm like, please sir, please sir, please sir, please sir. I was like, please sir, please. You're like, this is too much. Like, I have to do or like OBJ, I have to do theory. I'm like, it is not theory, it is essay. Like, I know you can't teach me what I'm like. But then it was like, you've been a good person to me, so I'm going to like do that. And let me just like point it out. I never like gave them a gift, even till date. I never like gave them, but then like they were just like willing to do it for me, like based on our own personal relationship back then. So like, if you are still in school, please try to build a relationship. It is very important. Build a relationship. Build it right now.
Very,
yeah.
Very.
So I think we'll be going to the end of this video right now. So I think the last one I have for you is I'm coming. I think I wrote something down. Okay, yeah. So if you could send a message to yourself, like before coming to the US right now, based on your insider experience right now, what would it be?
Wow, that's a very good question.
Yeah, so this is for the prospective students thinking of coming here.
Yeah.
So just see them as your
I know. I mean,
yeah.
I know that's a very good question. So before moving to the US, I think I've shared a bit of that, but I would also say never. People have the mindset that when you come to America, like everything will be fine, and you just jump in and
it's a lie.
Don't assume that you just get to America and it's a land of gold and even if you don't get funding, you still survive and all those things. I personally know people who lost their funding. I mean, not lost their funding as in they lost it over here, but they didn't get it, and then they tried to get the visa, all right, and then they moved to the US and they faced the reality. They were unable to pay the fees because as a student you are only working 20 hours.
Exactly.
You're only working 20 hours, and the 20 hours is supposed to be on campus, not supposed to be out of campus.
Yeah.
So you're supposed to look for a campus job. And a campus job, too, is something that will give you nothing. I mean, you can only pay your rent or just buy few stuff for yourself or pay
your rent and
it will give you that just for survival, just for food, and that's it. So that 20 hours cannot pay your fees. So make sure that before you move to the US, you look for a school that will give you funding. If you don't get funding, if you think you can pay, that is okay. I mean, maybe you're rich, you can pay fine, that's okay.
If your parents are rich, you can come spend
But if you cannot
money.
pay, yes, that is one thing that you should, make sure. And then secondly, too, is you should try to read about the place and then try to know more about where you are going to, and also be prepared to one thing is culture is different. And I read so many things before coming to the US. I listened, I watched a lot, but I still moved in here and I still face culture shock, So before coming to make sure that at least, but if you read, listen to some of these conversations and all that, at least you come prepared. Language is something, you speak very good English in Nigeria, in Ghana, but you still come here and they will speak and you can hear nothing. I mean, I will not lie. In my first meeting, I remember. I think when I moved in here, the first week, at the time I had not been to class, but I went to my office and we have like a meeting with my EHS people and as a graduate assistant, and we were having a meeting and I could hear what they are saying, but I don't. At the point, like everyone was laughing, I'm like, why are they laughing? I could hear what they are saying. Not that I don't get it. I get it, but it doesn't make sense to me, And everything sounded different. Everything looked different. And sometimes they are happy, and you don't know why they are happy, So. don't just, if you move here and you're not ready to learn, you're not ready to listen, you're not ready to pay attention to so many things and to try to learn about the US culture, some of the things and all those things, you will look weird. Because if you want to be like a Ghanaian in the US, you will look weird, how you talk, how you do everything. So you just have to, I'm not saying that try to forget about your culture, but at least you are in America, and you should also learn what they are saying. I mean, how systems and all those things work. So
Exactly.
before you move here, read more wherever you're going to, whatever state, whatever university, their culture, the people. Just try to read about certain things, and then it will make your transition very easy. And also watch some of these videos and subscribe, and listen to some of the conversations that we're having here. And in addition to that, also learn about financial literacy. All right. What I mean by that is you move to the US, and once you get social security and all that, I think social security number, you can apply for credit card and all those things. Don't just think that, oh, I just moved to the US, I have social security number and I can apply for a credit card. So you go for about 3 different credit cards and start. Don't do that. You run into debt, and for the rest of your life you'll never be happy. So I'm not talking from personal experience, but at least I listen a lot and I know what people are going
You
through.
picked one or two from different people, like, okay.
So let me issue that I'm not talking from a personal experience, but at least people go through stuff, and then so these are some of the things that you should know. Don't just come and the excitement of, oh, I can get this, I can just get this, I can get this. Nothing is for free. You will pay. All right. So that is something that I would say. And also most people think that the US is just maybe like if you're going to a place, for instance, Ohio like this, it is very cold, so they will buy certain stuff from Ghana or from Nigeria or from their home country, and when they come, wear it just to catch
No.
just to
See,
stay.
people do that so that they can announce to the home, like they're in abroad.
Just-
That's just the reason. Like, I have come to that conclusion myself, that's why we do that.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, it is different, and I personally would advise don't just be buying stuff in Nigeria, because those things will come and they will feel like a paper over here, and it doesn't make, so just take it easy. And I don't know if I'm being helpful with this answer, but
No, you're helpful. You're really like
yeah.
The advice that you've provided is really helpful. So I was just like hard to it that you don't need to come to the US and start like buying designer stuffs, because like a lot of people be like, oh, here is the US, I can get original thing, authentic thing.
Yeah.
Just hold up, like just hold on. When you have the money, you can get it. So if you want to get like stocks, and you want like being and you want it to be subsidized, you can like go to thrift stores. You like sometimes you might like get that thing you want to like buy in the big shop in the thrift stores, and it can be new as well. Like there is no harm in using second hand. I'm like for me though.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, you're good. I understand what you're saying.
So like you can just like go to Goodwill, thrift store, like to get those things first. Then if you start like if you now think that now you are comfortable, you can now start buying, because like I know like a lot of people that came into the US and their first thing is to like buy Gucci, I'm like we just came. Like, can you guys calm down? Like some people just like do that a lot, and I don't think it's financially wise. It's not financially wise at that point. But then if you have the money, if your parents are rich, I'm not judging you. You can like go ahead and do that. We are all adults, so you can make choices. So thank you, Bennett, for coming, and I'll be inviting you again to share your visa experience. I don't know how your visa experience was. I don't know if it was palatable or if it was, trembling. I can't say for that. So until we explore that next time. So thank you for coming in. And would you like to have the last words? Tell my people to subscribe, if they haven't.
Thank you very much. I mean, I'm very grateful for this opportunity to. I mean, it has been a great conversation, and personally, I love sharing personal stories. Like I said, I like sharing. I'm a storyteller, so
like it shows.
I love this, and I would also. The last thing that I would say is that if you are interested in this particular journey, or you want to move abroad to study or something like that, it is possible. And it is possible when you put in everything, like, you put in the effort. It is not easy, but it is possible. All right, and just start early, like we said. Just make sure that you know what you want to do. I've had conversations with people that is that I want to study abroad. Can you help me? Okay, what do you want to study? So, oh, any program that will give you funding.
I've seen that. I'm like, you're not serious yet. Go and think.
Yeah, any program that will give you funding. And like, what do you mean? So you are ready to study anything, including rocket science?
Anything, they don't care.
And yeah, it doesn't work like that. And if you do that, that's the reason why I'm sure most people still haven't achieved their dream, because they have no dream. They just feel like, oh, that's it. And trust me, studying in the US too is not easy as you might think. All right, the educational system is different, and we didn't talk about that, but it's very different. All right, and it is not as easy as you think. Here, you do a lot of personal reflection. You like you write a lot. You think a
Weekly
lot.
assignments, think a
Yeah,
lot. Think
you
on
would
the
think.
spot, kind of thing.
Yeah, you will think a lot. The system is different, so don't think that, oh, you just fit in, and then make sure that you prepare. You are doing something you really love, and yeah, so start early and just listen. I mean, feel free to reach out to people who have done it before, because everywhere you are going, there are people who have been there already, and they are ready to support you. So make sure that you also reach out to people that you think they've been there and they are ready to support you and all those things. So those are the last things I'll say to everyone who is watching. And make sure you subscribe. Make sure that you share with your friends, and yeah, subscribe, share, and then like some of the videos and all those things. And I'm sure you can also reach out to any of us if you need any kind of support. And to the best of our knowledge,
No
we are ready
monetary
to share.
support, though, please. No monetary support.
I mean, I'm not rich, so
We are not rich yet.
yeah. So yeah, that's it. So thank you very much, Dami, for having me.
Oh
I'm super
no, thank you
grateful.
for coming. Thank you for coming. I'm
Yeah.
really honored to have you on this channel. Yeah, and thank you for sharing your story, your journey, and your experiences so far, coupled with some of the people that you've seen experiences as well. Because like, oh, nobody is an island of knowledge. And just to like go back to what Bennett said, like don't just like want to come to the US because you see your friends here. You know people that are here and you don't like know what you want to study. The first thing to do is to know your why, because that would help you in drafting your own your like own personal statement, right? So that will help you in writing those things. So you have to like know your why. So if you don't know your why, if you're like answer your why yourself, then there's no how you can like think of studying abroad, because that's the first step of you like coming abroad. So see you all next week, same time. Bye. Yeah, thank you.